Hello everyone, I am Rajan Gupta, Research and Analytics Consultant in New Delhi. I'll be taking you through one of the presentations which talks about click-through rate estimation using CHAID classification tree model. Through this presentation, you'll be able to understand that within online world, how click-through rate is impacted by various variables, and with the help of data science, models like CHAID classification tree can be applied to predict these click-through rate. The content flow would include the background about click-through rate, that what is it, why it is important, where all it is used. Then I'll tell you about different algorithms for predicting click-through rates, what are the schemes used in current work, what are the research settings through which I have tested this particular technique, what were the results that I obtained, what are the findings of this particular scheme, and then what do we finally conclude out of the scheme applied. Now, click-through rate is defined as number of clicks divided by number of impressions of an advertisement, where number of impression, or rather impression, relates to number of times an advertisement has been seen, whereas clicks represents number of times an advertisement has been clicked. So potentially, click-through rate is an important metric which is used to calculate the effectiveness of online advertisements. Various online advertisements are placed onto mobile apps, web apps, or any other place where internet is supported. Any advertisement which is being seen to any particular user is termed under impression. When that particular user clicks that particular ad, it becomes a click. So number of clicks divided by number of impressions of an advertisement becomes the click-through rate. Now, there is an importance of CTR, which is the acronym used for click-through rate only. Now, it is a major parameter or a metric for search engines to generate advertisement related revenue. Through this only, search engine decides how much to obtain for a particular advertisement. CTR impacts business revenue, and it is used for analyzing traffic. Through CTR, you are able to track your customers and assess whether a particular advertisement has been effective to be run on a search engine or not. CTR is used by various type of stakeholders. First is search engines, then online advertisers. Online companies are also using it. It is also used by sales team and SEO service providers. For search engines, it becomes an effective metric to find out whether the particular ad which they are placing on their search engines are producing any clicks or not. For online advertisers, which can be a search engine or any other company or any third party, it becomes even important metric. And anybody, in fact, who deals in online advertisements would want to keep a check over click-through rate, because it is the most effective way to find out whether a particular ad is getting revenue or not. In terms of sales lead, in terms of conversions, so any particular customer who clicks onto that particular ad and buys that product potentially becomes the customer for that company. So it's kind of a lead generation process which involves online advertisements, and through click-through rate we can easily assess that whether the lead which has been generated through online advertisement has been converted or not. Through literature review, there has been various factors which have been found impacting click-through rate. First is the display position. on the mobile screen or on the web screen, where all the ads are displayed, plays an important part in getting them clicked. Then the search engine advertisements, whether they are relevant or not. It depends, and it makes a user click to that particular ad. Various types of banner advertisements, various types of user interactivity. You might be seeing that whenever you are browsing any of your app in the mobile phone, you promptly see a particular ad getting popped up, which takes around 5 seconds to close down, and if you click, it redirects you to their particular page. Now that becomes an important criteria for user interactivity, or maybe you are asked to enter a particular information about yourself. Then there are relevancy of keywords. Sometimes when you enter any keywords into the search engine, you may see ads related to that particular keyword. Now if there is no relevancy of that ad with respect to that keyword, nobody would going to click that particular ad. Then we have cyclic fluctuations for seasonal offers, for seasonality with respect to a particular advertisement. There would be more clicks during a particular time period as compared to the other one. For example, during Christmas, there would be a lot of tours and travel packages that would be getting clicked. And then you have offers, which relates to the companies which are offering a particular item of interest to the user will get clicked very heavily. So these are certain factors which impact CTR, and through the model development, they should be considered. Now there are various types of algorithms which can be used for CTR predictions. The first is the maximum likelihood method. Next is the naive-bayes method. Then k-nearest neighbor classification, which can be used for clustering as well as regressions. Then we have logistic regression. And then the decision trees. Each of the algorithm have got different kind of setup and different explanation. We won't go into the details of all of them, but we would be discussing decision trees. Now CHAID classification is a kind of a decision tree only. Its full form is chi-square automatic interaction detection. It is an updated version of automatic interaction detection and theta automatic interaction detection. CHAID classification tree is non-parametric in nature. That means the variables which will be used for classification would be of categorical in nature. They won't be of continuous nature. This kind of classification is easy to use and have got high visibility, so you can visualize the results and understand what is going on. This technique works well with high volume data, as results on low data sets are not really reliable. So if you have very high volume data available with you, CHAID classification becomes a good algorithm to implement. It is a prominent technique used in direct marketing for consumers, medical and psychiatric research. So already marketing is seeing the implementation of CHAID classification. But with online advertisements, this is a kind of a new technique that will be implemented. Now why CHAID becomes a good fit for click-through rate estimation? Since major independent variables and dependent variables are all categorical in nature, so choice of non-parametric tests like CHAID classification is better over traditional algorithms like regressions. Of course, it is easy to visualize and understand rules generated from CHAID classification tree as compared to the other techniques. Other techniques have got a lot of statistical information which can be hard to understand for a naive user. This technique has been proven to be robust in presence of noise through overfitting treatment. Now with respect to online advertisements and click data sets, there could be a lot of redundant information that might be present in the data. So we have to select a scheme which can deal with the presence of that particular noise. And then we are using a node splitting method which suggests that important predictor variables can clearly be identified. So this makes CHAID a good model choice for click-through rates. Now what we did in this particular case is that we are using SPSS tool. The version can be the latest one. I have used 21.0 to implement this particular model. So there was a 10 lakh click history data available through mobile phones, which was put on by Avazu company on the Kaggle site for research purpose. Out of this 10 lakhs click data, we considered 8 lakhs or 80% as the training data set and 2 lakhs or 20% as the test data sets. The various data fields which were used by us were ad identifier, click and non-click field, time format, banner position, site details which were having ID, domain and category, app details which were again having ID, domain, category, mobile device details having ID, IP, mobile, model type, type of connection and some anonymized categorical variables. We evaluate the model performance with the accuracy matrix, which says that number of correctly predicted nodes out of the total predicted nodes. So if we are able to predict good number of correct nodes, then the accuracy would be high. Now this was the classification tree that was generated within our case. Every path of this tree becomes a rule to predict high click-through rate. For example, site category leading to the site ID leading to the device connection type. This becomes a rule. Then site category leading to banner position leading to device connection. This again becomes a rule. Site category to banner position to site ID. Again this becomes a rule. And so on. So all the paths that can be traversed through a classification tree becomes a good rule to predict whether a particular ad would be clicked or not. Now the percentages within each box determines that how much at this particular point click data was available. So for example, at the root node, site category, 16.2% of the overall data were clicks. That means we are trying to identify or classify a correct click model over here. Now the major findings suggest that CHAID classification, which was not applied to CTR before, was able to correctly classify clicks and non-clicks on test data. So the model that was generated was applied on test data set and it was able to predict the clicks and non-clicks. Overall model prediction accuracy was found to be 83.83%, which can possibly due to larger data set and usage of only categorical variables. Accuracy was better than model generated by Ramaswamy and Bhaskaran. And split validation model method used to estimate the validity was found to be a good case in this particular set. Now why CHAID is better? Because it has got very high classification speed, very high knowledge representation, very high robustness for data type, medium level overfitting of the model, high learning speed, high missing value and noisy value robustness as compared to schemes like KNN, association classifier, neural network, Bayesian and SVM. This was again found out theoretically by Abesi and Yazdi 2014. Although SVM has been overall better scheme found theoretically, but application in CTR not found. So this becomes a future case for all of you to try SVM on predicting CTR. Therefore, we conclude that CTR is an important matrix in online advertisement world. Due to nature of predictors which are categorical, traditional techniques like regression won't produce good prediction model. CHAID classification has inherent properties to build model on categorical data, which is the requirement in case of predicting CTR. And decent accuracy levels can be achieved through CHAID in CTR prediction, so can be used for mid-level sensitive application. This gives us a good case to implement. Thank you.